Hey, how's it going, everyone? John here, and welcome back to Let's Talk Resident Evil. ResidentEvil.com has updated itself with new information regarding the upcoming remake of Resident Evil 3, and I just wanted to look through it with you guys and talk about some interesting things that I noticed. Once you load up the webpage, you are greeted with the beautiful artwork of Nemesis, Jill, and Carlos. The website has a couple of different sections with all of the information that you would expect, such as the release date, product information, information on the collector's edition, and the game trailer. However, it does have some more stuff that's pretty juicy for those of us who want to know more about the game. In the About section, there is a beautiful blurb about the game that sets up the initial premise of what's going to take place during the events of the game. It reads, "Fight your way to freedom from the brink of despair. A series of strange disappearances have been occurring in the American Midwest within a place called Raccoon City. A specialist squad of the police force known as STARS has been investigating the case and have determined that the pharmaceutical company Umbrella and their biological weapon, the T-virus, are behind the incidents, though they've lost several members in the process. Jill Valentine and the other surviving STARS members try to make this truth known, but find that the police department itself is under Umbrella's sway and their reports are rejected out of hand. However, soon reports of a grisly, cannibal virus begin to surface, and vicious dogs begin roaming the streets. With the viral plague spreading through the town and to her very doorstep, Jill is determined to survive. However, unbeknownst to Jill, an extremely powerful pursuer has already been dispatched to eliminate her." I believe the last sentence in this entire piece is the most effective part. I like the setup that this builds. Jill's determination to survive and escape the city is being put to the test by a pursuer that she doesn't even know exists yet. There is also a small section that details how many copies the original game has sold and gives us a little bit more information. Just like its predecessor, Resident Evil 2, the game is set in Raccoon City, a city overrun by a whole new kind of biological threat, but this game illustrates the outbreak and conclusions of the incident. It follows the protagonist, Jill Valentine, as she fights to escape her pursuer, the Nemesis T-type, and offers a new kind of survival horror which plays off the fear of being constantly and relentlessly chased. This game, Resident Evil 3, reimagines this city as it falls into chaos beneath the undead horde, with a level of detail and fidelity that can only now be realized with current technology. The important part here is once again the final sentence. As we have suspected so far with the trailer and special developers note, the game seems to have a lot more civilians than the original one. I find the choice of words here, as it falls into chaos, important, because it gives me hope that we will get a good portion of the initial outbreak in the Resident Evil 3 remake. Something like this wasn't possible back in 1999 when Resident Evil 3 was first released because of technical limitations. They really couldn't show that many NPCs on the screen interacting and running and dying, but it's something completely capable of being shown with the modern hardware. I think this game has a lot of potential to tell a way more compelling story than the original Resident Evil 3. And while I don't think it will start at the very beginning of the outbreak like Outbreak the game does, I do think we will be able to see a little bit more of the fall of Raccoon City take place than we did in the original title. The final thing the website does show us, though, is probably the most important thing to me and probably to a lot of people. Jill Valentine actually gets a bio. Having undergone Delta Force training made Jill a natural fit as rear security for the Raccoon Police Department's Special Forces team, STARS, and her knack for picking locks and handling explosives have proven equally useful, making her an especially outstanding team member. However, Jill is one of few surviving members after the team saw numerous losses to the shambling corpses and monstrous creatures they encountered while investigating reports of missing persons in what has become known as the Mansion Incident. A survivor of that incident, Jill is determined to continue investigating Umbrella, the creators of the deadly T-virus, at the heart of the incident, but her investigation has been impeded by a suspension and an order to remain at home. What's more, her apartment appears to be under round-the-clock surveillance. The entire city seems to be under Umbrella's control, with the police force being no exception. Jill has decided to escape from her confines in Raccoon City in order to bring Umbrella's evil to light, but this may not prove so simple. The bio recaps the history of Jill Valentine prior to the start of the game, and then drops some new information for us. Jill Valentine is seemingly under house arrest. Now, why they don't say house arrest in particular, I do kind of get that feeling when somebody is ordered to remain at home. You get that feeling. I find it curious that she knows that she's under round the clock surveillance, and I'm suspecting that she's suspecting that it's Umbrella who's doing it. This is an exciting new change because it's adding more content to the narrative of Resident Evil 3. And those of you who know me know that the story, or lack thereof, in Resident Evil 3 has always been my biggest complaint. I complain about the pacing of the game, and I think that this remake is going to knock this out of the park. At the moment, Carlos Oliveira and Nemesis look to have character bios incoming, and I will make sure to post a follow-up video when they become available. What do you guys think about the details that they've added to Jill's character? Let us know in the comments below. I have included a link to the website, so feel free to check it out on your own and watch for updates. Don't forget to smash that like button, just like Nemesis would, and consider subscribing to the channel for more Resident Evil content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.